Well, this is day 41. It is starting to get very difficult now that I'm in the swing of things of being a full-time registered nurse and working 12-hour shifts, especially several shifts in a row. Today is day 2, then tomorrow will be day 3 in a row of a 12-hour shift, and it is very taxing. It's very taxing, especially if I'm not getting a lot of sleep. But when I get to work after handoff in the morning and then I start going and seeing my patients, looking at their charts, their notes, getting my assessments done, the pace starts to pick up, especially if you have an unstable patient, which basically 80% of our patients are unstable. Then you're having to rush them down to get CT scans of their brain. You're having to monitor their hourly everything. And you kind of get in the swing of things, and then everything picks up really fast. And all of a sudden, you're not tired until about 4 or 5 p.m. And you're like, wow, I've been working like crazy for the last 9 hours straight. I should probably go eat. And then you get a little snack, and then your patient codes or something else happens, and then you have to run in there. And it's very tiring. It definitely is. But in the end of the day, I love it. I enjoy working. I just wish that there were more hours in a day, which I think most of us probably do wish. I mean, seriously, it gets to a point to where when you finish college or when you start your professional career, you probably wish you had more hours in the day because it seems like you can't get everything done. Going and working a 12-hour shift, which is actually more like a 14-hour shift by the time I leave the house in the morning to the time I get home at night, then running out to the garage to get a workout in of some sort. It's really difficult. And you just feel like you need more hours in a day. Because if you have more hours in a day, you could sleep for longer and still feel refreshed going in to work the next day. And I talked to one of my nursing educator, kind of like one of my bosses, and she said, I told her one of my goals when I'm off orientation and can start working my own shifts and picking up my own shifts is I really want to work 14 days in a pay period. I want to work every single day of a pay period. Why I want to do that? Well, I'd love to see a gigantic check, but I just want to be able to say I did. I've always liked working. Of course, it's going to be extremely difficult, but I think it'd also be really fun to do that. My nursing educator told me that she worked 6 in a row, and she said on the 7th day, she said she was basically falling asleep on the drive home after day 6, which is scary. Luckily, I live close. But I think when we get put in an environment where the intensity is high, regardless of how much sleep you've had, you can function. But then once you have the days off, it probably takes 2 or 3 days just to recover. I remember in high school, my mom used to tell me that every time you stay up all night or for 24 hours, it takes your body a week, or it might have been even 2 weeks, to fully recover from that lack of sleep. And so I've also heard another thing saying if you really want to know how much sleep you need a night, just go to bed, or on vacation, just go to bed and don't set an alarm in the morning. Just wake up whenever you wake up and see how much body your sleep needs. But then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, if your body's also trying to catch up for the previous several years of staying up all night and, trying to, I guess just catch up from all the previous years of sleep, you're probably going to sleep in really late. But then there's also people who naturally wake up at 6:23 a.m. every single morning and, whatever. I think the things that are important to us in life will always take precedent. Lifting and work are important to me. My wife is important to me. God is important to me. My family is important to me. So those things will always take precedent in my life. And usually it's in a first come, first serve order. So God obviously is first. My wife is second. Work is third. Lifting is fourth. But lifting is still very important to me. So this is something that, even though I'm working, I just got home from a 14-hour day. I'm still going to come out here and work and, upload a video. And all together, that and my day will probably be 16 hours. Then that only leaves me 8 hours to sleep. So now you got to factor in a shower, food, pack a lunch if I haven't packed lunch for the following day, get my clothes laid out, and really only getting 6.5 hours of sleep, and that sucks. But if it's important, it doesn't matter. That's where I think it's also easy to avoid sleep when you work in an environment such as one that I work in. It's high intensity. Sure, you go in tired and it's hard to get up in the morning, but once you get there, you're like, whoa, it's 4 p.m. How? Today was actually more of a slow day, but yesterday it was like that. It was like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden it was 4 p.m. But I just started orientation, so I think the patients I got yesterday weren't definitely the easiest pair. I had 2 patients on vents and 2 patients with brain drains. I'm on an ICU unit, so the acuity of the patient we have is a lot more intense. But regardless, it's fun. I like being a nurse. And then once I can start picking out my own schedules, I saw there was a way to make it so that you can only work 8 days, or you can work 3 days in the beginning of the pay period, and then have an 8-day vacation just naturally, like a break. Then you come back and work 3 days at the end of the pay period or something like that. That'd be really cool. See how much time I can get off without getting in trouble, you know? Yeah, guys, I didn't really have a whole lot to talk about. Kind of wanted to talk about sleep because I'm tired and going into tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be rough and it's also going to be a very late upload, so fair warning. I appreciate all the support. You guys are great, and I'll try and have a winner picked out soon. All right, God bless.